Breaking news out of South Africa. 45 people at least are believed to have been killed after a bus crashed in the South African province of Limpopo. I'll take you to some of the latest pictures we have here. You can see just down in the ravine there, the remains of the crash as the bus seemingly crashed through the barriers there and came off that road, off that bridge, into that ravine below. At least 45 people killed, another person seriously injured. Bus travelling from Botswana, it's believed. They exploded on the floor there of the ravine. Let's speak now to Heidi Jokos, a journalist based in Johannesburg. Thank you very much for coming on the programme. Just talk us through what we know about what happened here.
It's unclear as to how the bus lost control, but what we know is that the bus was traveling from Botswana to an area in Limpopo known as Moria. It's a Easter church gathering that happens every single year, and people from all over come through to this particular gathering. Now, it seems as though from what we saw on scene is that the bus might have lost control. It hit the barrier and then it seems as though it crashed, hung onto the barrier and then crashed into the ravine, as you mentioned. We know that 45 people have lost their lives. There were 46 people on board. There has been one survivor, an 8-year-old girl. One female was transported or airlifted to hospital, but unfortunately she did not make it. I think what's so tragic and horrific, having been on the scene, was the fact that paramedics told us that the bus caught fire and people inside the bus were trapped. They could not get out and they were asking and begging and crying and pleading to be helped out of the bus. But unfortunately, it was too difficult for paramedics and officials to try and save anyone out of that bus.
Oh, just really dreadful details there, Heidi. We're seeing these pictures from the scene that you referenced and provided there. It looked quite a big drop between the road, that bridge there, and the ground. But as you said right at the beginning, we still don't know at the moment, do we, what led up to this or how it could have happened?
Exactly, and we know that that drop from the top of the bridge, where it seems as though the bus had the impact onto the barriers and then crashed, is a 50-meter drop. So it's at a very high length and height, rather. And this is obviously the impact that we are seeing when the bus hit the barrier, crashed, and then hits into that ravine over there. And this is obviously what sparked this fire that happened. We're also being told by paramedics that a lot of the passengers that were on board were mothers with their children, which probably speaks to the 8-year-old that managed to survive. We don't know how she survived, but also what seems to have further exacerbated the fire is that a lot of them were carrying gas cylinders because where they were heading to, they were going to spend the whole weekend there and they were going to be using these gas cylinders for cooking purposes. And this is probably what exacerbated the fire. It's still not clear. Of course, the Department of Transport is investigating, but it's going to be very difficult for the department to do so because of the fire. And it's going to be very difficult to really figure out exactly what happened and the fact that there's only one survivor and she's 8 years old.
Heidi, thank you so much for talking us through that. Appreciate your time and your reporting there. And of course, if we get any more details there about what happened or what caused that crash there, we will cross straight back to the region.